Web3 wallets, safeguarding your crypto assets. Let's welcome on stage Veronica Wong, CEO and co-founder of SafePal, Nate Zhu, head of product at Trust Wallet, Sebastian Badalt, VP Enterprise at Ledger, Alvin Khan, COO at Bitget Wallet, Halil McCarnan, COO at Wallet in Telegram, and Niesha Sashdev, Managing Director at Luna PR, Creative Director at Telegram. Let's welcome them on stage.
Check. Hi everyone, my name is Nish, Dr. Nishata Sachdev. I am the Managing Director of Luna Media Corporation. Within Luna Media Corporation, we have our award-winning PR agency, Luna PR. I'm also the Managing Director of Cointelegraph Middle East. We also have a few other things that we do in the media realm. We're hosting a very VIP exclusive event on Saturday called Crypto Polo Cup. We had our own show on CNBC. We've been in the space since 2017, and I think that's us in a nutshell. I'm really happy to be here today and with some industry leaders in the digital realm. So if you would like to start with a round of introductions.
Hi everyone, it's great to be here. This is Veronica, the CEO and co-founder of SafePal. SafePal is a cryptocurrency that's been serving more than 12 million users global-wide nowadays from 200 countries. It was founded in 2018, so we've been building in the space for more than almost 5 years and a half already. We've supported more than 100 blockchains, so it's just a continuous building process. So it's great to be here to be seated with other wonderful panelists to talk about security, education, and wallets and all those.
Hi everyone, this is Nate from Trust Wallet. I'm the head of the product at Trust Wallet, and we are one of the oldest wallet in the market. It's been here for almost 7 years. It has about 80 million downloads so far, and around 15 million monthly active users using us globally. And I'd love to be here today with all these industry pioneers to share some insights with you guys.
I'm Sebastian from Ledger. So how many people in the room have a Ledger? I can't really see very well. Wow, that's low. We should have a booth that you can buy some. So I run the enterprise business at Ledger. So Ledger is primarily a consumer company, but we're also an institutional and B2B company, and I run the B2B side at Ledger.
Hey everyone, Alvin from Bitget Wallet here. I'm usually based in Singapore, so see you all in Token 2049 in Singapore in September if you are going. Happy to be here. It's my, I think, third time in Dubai. Bitget Wallet is most well known for our trading and earning campaigns. If you've seen, we serve around 20 million users worldwide. We're integrated with 100 plus blockchains because we want users to access, most of the hot trends out there, whether it's Solana or EVM or Base and so on. So happy to be here to discuss some of the trends.
Hi, I'm Halil. Today I'm representing the wallet in Telegram, which is a wallet natively integrated into the Telegram application. We actually offer a hybrid solution of both a custodial wallet, which currently has 6.6 million monthly active users in March, as well as a self-custodial wallet solution built on its own blockchain called TonSpace. And we mainly focus on retail users and users who are new to the crypto ecosystem, but also trying to onboard as many of Telegram's 100 million users as possible to our beautiful ecosystem.
Thank you guys for that. Sebastian, you really stuck yourself out by asking who has a ledger here. I want to ask the audience actually, how many of you guys actually own a cold storage wallet?
The same. So I guess all the ones that have a hard cold storage wallet own a ledger.
Okay, so obviously a lot of you guys don't own a cold storage wallet. So I want to start off by a quick I guess, word of advice from our highly experienced board here. Why should you own a cold storage wallet? What's the reason for it? I mean, do you really need one?
Yeah, I guess I will start. It really depends on what kind of user you are, right? Because if you are a very active trader and you basically need to sign up transactions every day, then probably you might need to consider using it in exchange. If you are, for example, you're just holding Bitcoins for a long term and basically you don't need any wallet, you just need a set of private keys and seed phrase. You need probably a hard drive, or you're using a piece of paper, or you're storing it using a metallic board like that for long-term usage if you're not signing any of the transactions. But if you are holding crypto, but you still need to enjoy the convenience of sending the cryptocurrencies in and out of your wallet, and you want to have the top-notch security level protection of your wallets and assets, then hardware wallet and aka cold storage wallet would be the ideal solution for that. So it allows you to store the crypto in a safe manner while you still enjoy the convenience of sending out the crypto. So it's a combination of both. So it really depends on what kind of user you are, and people can get to choose different type of wallet formats to manage your crypto in the most convenient way. Yeah.
I'm like obviously very subjective. You should definitely have a cold storage wallet. No, I mean I think that's right. I think the idea is that, and we see it, for example, in the fact that our activity is very correlated to the price of Bitcoin. So, as the value of assets goes up, people need to protect their crypto, and therefore they're going to be trying to find the best solution to do so. And clearly, in terms of security, there's nothing more that you can do than having a cold storage wallet, because there's absolutely no vectors of the risk of attack once it's off the network. But if you don't hold that much crypto, or you're just starting out, maybe it's not needed. I think as we go towards a world where all of us will have more digital assets, and I think that's a given, more and more people will rely on these solutions. And then on our end, what we're trying to do is to make it as simple as possible for you to hold one, so to have security but also ease of use, so that it's not one or the other. We announced that we were launching a new version of our wallet that's going to come out in the spring very soon, like in the next few months, called Ledger Stacks, that we built with Tony Fidel, who built the iPod, and it's a screen, and it's touch screen. It's very similar to what you would have with like an e-ink reader, like a Kindle, and this is the next generation, right? Like Ledger is going to be 10 years this year. Hardware is called hardware for a reason, because it's hard to put together. It's not like you can one day decide to build hardware. It takes time to do so. But we really feel that we're coming to a moment where we have more and more people onboarding into the space, and it's on us to make it as simple as possible. And my dream is for my mother to be able to set up the Ledger in a very simple way. We're not there yet, but we'll get there.
That actually does serve as a segue into the next question that I have. So over the last 2 years, we've obviously seen a bit of a roller coaster in this space. I mean, we've gone from bad to worse to, hey, we're in a bull market. And so I want to know, how has your technologies, how has that changed over the last 2 years? And what have you implemented to, firstly, keep users safer, and secondly, onboard users and make sure that they understand the safety that your devices actually can give them?
Maybe we should start with Khalil.
Sure. I'll probably start with the second half of the question, which is about the acquisition. So we started 18 months ago, and last year in November, we announced that the wallet will be enabled by default to all Telegram users, but it will be a gradual rollout. We're continuing this process now, and we're constantly trying to better it and perfect it to make sure that as many people can be converted from just a Telegram user to an avid user of crypto as well. That's been our main focus here. In the second part about security, we started off as being purely a custodial wallet with 3 assets, being Toncoin, Bitcoin, and USD Tether. We've now expanded to having the Ton space as well, the self-custodial wallet solution, which has a sharded key encryption method, meaning that in order to restore access to your self-custodial wallet, if you ever lose it, you'll have to, one, confirm that you still have your access to your email, but also that you have access to your Telegram account through Telegram's key value storage solution. So these are that's the kind of progression that we've made to try to move people from being just a newbie to crypto to also a user on the blockchain, and maybe slightly different to the hardware wallets here in terms of focus.
I'll just add on. So for us, we introduced MPC wallet last year. I think it's important because most users are coming in, when you tell them about 12-word mnemonic phrases and so on, it scares the hell out of them. And MPC is a very safe but convenient way for them to do it. So we introduced that last year with TSS and so on. So one key share is stored in your device, the other one is in the platform server, the third one is in the cloud that we don't use it for transaction signing unless it's necessary. So that itself, we realized over the last couple of months, an increasing proportion of users are signing up using MPC. And I think that's the way forward. Right, and then there are of course other things we're looking at. For example, quantum computing is coming up, and people talk about like quantum resistant kind of encryption. There is also like biometric measures and so on that's coming up. So we work with a lot of partners, and we look at what kind of technologies they use as well.
Fun fact: 80 million downloads we have. Half of that happens during the bear market. So although in this market we have bull market, we have bear market, I don't think user adoption stops at the bear market. So because we are living in a world which is very long tail, it means bear market to very crypto native people, but for lots of countries when their fiat tank, right? So the people don't have much choice but to adopt crypto. In this case, as a software wallet, we are one of the most accessible method for all these normie users to adopt crypto. So key here is to make sure the app is as intuitive as possible so normie people can actually understand what they're about to embrace and they're about to use. And also along the way to guide them through the journey, not just throw them a bunch of tools and hey, go ahead and figure that out yourself, but along the way to help them through the entire journey to make sure they understand exactly what they do, from all the way from security to all these apps they're about to interact with. So I think that's really the key, is just be with your user all the time.
One thing I'd like to say is, so we're looking at it from two perspectives. Right? We look at it from the consumer perspective, and as I was mentioning earlier, we definitely see an uptick in sales when the price of Bitcoin goes up. So people care more about security when they have more to secure, which makes sense. But when people buy, we don't get to talk to them, so we don't really know if their mindset has changed when it comes to securing their assets. We just see that they buy more hardware. But on the other side of our business, which is the institutional side, we have discussions every day with asset managers, custodians, exchanges, etc. And there's definitely a shift that's happened in the past year, a shift towards trying to do things right, not repeating the errors of the past, if you will. And it's interesting because number one, we're seeing a lot of new entrants into the space, so from traditional finance coming into the space and wanting to know. And they don't shy away, they're not afraid of complex systems because what they use in traditional finance is much more complex than what exists in crypto. So the idea of having governance, etc. is not new to them. And then from the crypto space, some people that we used to talk to maybe a year, 2 years ago and said, no, we're fine, we're using nanos, or we don't actually have cold storage wallets, or we don't have any governance, etc., are changing their tune now because they understand the importance linked to, first of all, any kind of hacks that can happen or any kind of issues around governance, such as FTX and whatever. But also, the looming issues linked to regulations. You want to make sure that, what you're doing is you're doing it the right way, and you're able to show whoever is looking at it that you're doing it the right way. So there is definitely a shift in the institutional side in terms of their relation to security and governance.
I will share in another angle. Would like to share about what we see in the SafePal user base. So right now, our user graphical distribution would be like more than half from North America and Europe, and then like 20-30% in Southeast Asia, and the rest of them allocated across the continents. Nowadays, we are seeing 3 user profiles. First, the big whale holders. They are typically hardware wallet users, roughly penetration 10%. So that is similar to those who are raising hands here versus the whole audience in this venue. Second type, active DeFi engaged traders. Like these people actively engage with dApps and all these kind of smart contracts on chain roughly takes up 20-30% of the total user behavior. And third type, what we are seeing nowadays, actually the majority using wallets, for example, SafePal wallets. These are normal people. Like they don't actively trade in exchanges and all those. Yes, they do transaction. Yes, they do some yielding, low risk kind of earning yielding program inside the wallets, but not that very active DeFi on-chain engagement. So the big issue that we're seeing with this group of users is that there's a lack of user education along the way, because 80% of the customer support tickets that we got on a daily basis actually are caused by human mistakes. So we spent our last whole year kind of building actually user education. That is not really writing articles, content like that. No, nobody actually reads that based on our behavior. But we build user education into the product. So when you use it, when you are trying to make your first smart contract authorization, when you set up a new wallet and you're trying to make a first transfer, there will be related pop-up telling you the potential risks that you could be facing, like do double check with your wallet, and we will block the smart contract address in case people send tokens mistakenly to smart contract and then boom, lose it. So we built a lot of these details into the wallet to kind of improve the whole user journey. So like people spend a lot of time talking about new technologies, but we do need to spend a little more time caring for these users actually onboarded to Web3, because the first impression for a lot of them is that, okay, cryptocurrency is a highly volatile, point one. Point two, easily lost. Like I could lose my money like overnight, like because of a single mistaken transaction, and then we lost that user. So there should be a lot of details paid into the segment. So that is something that we've been building the last year actually. So it's not really about technology; it's more about user caring and also education. Yeah.
It's a really good point. So when it comes to user education though, to what extent can we work as an industry to make sure that we're onboarding users in the right way? You've mentioned some great points in terms of creating user education on your platform as it comes in. To what extent does that go though? If I am investing in, let's say Dextools, for example, it does the audits for me automatically. It gives me the honeypot, the other little markers. So at what extent, does SafePal do that?
We want to give people option while telling them what potential risks it could be associated with when they take specific behavior. For example, when they make the transaction or when they make the sign of the smart contract, there will be specific notification inside the wallet telling users that you're actually here being 100% responsible for this behavior and you need to be careful, because if you make a mistake here, you could lose your money. So we want to give people ample options of features. So right now in the SafePal wallet, SafePal actually started as a hardware wallet, so respect ledger. So we started as a hardware wallet and then extended our product lines to mobile wallet browser extension. But overall, the end game is really to provide ample solutions to users while make sure the product seamless, of course, like they mentioned, and also to educate them through the process. So when they gradually manage to finish all of these on-chain engagement, they are already a qualified Web3 users. Instead of reading tons of articles and like trying to Google, trying to follow some out of nowhere KOL opinion on Twitter, like telling them how to manage your wallet, they can simply use it and then get to know how to use it. So we want to go to the extent that when the user finishes using the wallet, they are already a qualified Web3 investor and they can move on from there.
I feel like when it comes to onboarding Web2 users though, Halil, you have a massive role in that with Telegram. I mean, kudos to you first of all for integrating this kind of wallet and really getting that mass adoption going. How do you guys integrate education here? Has it been a roadblock?
I would say maybe three main things. One is the easiness of it being a custodial wallet. The second is the onboarding aspect. And the third is transfers over Telegram. So about the custodial aspect, obviously it's very good to have software wallets and hardware wallets when the user is advanced. But when the user comes in initially, as everyone else here has said, the crypto world is very dangerous. There are a lot of traps and hacks and just generally difficult ways to actually make transactions on DEXs or anywhere else. So we would prefer the custodial version. because when the user initially receives the crypto, they don't have to think about what's my address, what's my seed phrase. They just get the tokens and they can just swap it straight away or send it to a Telegram user. So in our case, if I had your Telegram contact, I could just choose my Toncoin and then send it to you over Telegram. This would cost me 0 in terms of the gas fee, and it would cost me 0 time because it happens absolutely instantly. So with Ethereum, you have to worry about expensive gas. Should I time the transaction so so I pay less on gas? With Tron, it still takes some time, but with us, it's completely free and instant, and it's the nicest way to introduce a person from the Web2 world to the Web3 world is trying to keep as many of the same tenets and easy factors in Web2 to Web3. And the last thing is about the onboarding. So as I've mentioned, we are doing the rollout at the moment. We've now gone to over 15 countries, spanning over 100 million users of Telegram. And what we're doing actually in every single country is having a different onboarding experience. So for example, one country may have the P2P market, where it's very, very popular there, and we might say, hey, we have a P2P market, it supports over 30 currencies, you should go and try it. In another market, maybe Bitcoin is very popular. So we say, hey, we have Bitcoin, you can buy Bitcoin with a card. In Brazil, you can buy Bitcoin with PIX. In India, you can buy Bitcoin with EPI. And trying to make the user journey as simple as possible depending on the market. So I would say these are the three main things.
I mean, so I think that education is key for sure. We've taken it like super seriously from the beginning. We're now, I think Ledger is the third after Coinbase and Binance in terms of audience of people like looking at the content that we put out on education. We've created this thing called School of Blocks, which is super popular. We also because Web3 is very linked to gaming, we created these little games called Ledgerverse that you can learn how to understand what security is, which is very similar to something that's within the sandbox. And so targeting different kinds of people. Also, obviously, onboarding is key because we know that people have to go through it. And it's really a moment to teach them. And then I think that what we do as an industry together is really, really important as well. Right now, there's something really, and you were kind of mentioning it around clear signing, making sure that people know what they sign, the transaction that they sign. I think the industry kind of pushed that aside for a while, and we saw that it's probably a negative. And at one point or another, if we want to build this industry, we want to make sure that people feel safe inside of it, and clear signing is a really great way to do that. So I really feel that it's our responsibility, right? And the people on this panel, but broader, the people in this ecosystem, because that's how we onboard more people into the space, by making sure that they feel safe and then understand. Because it's this trade-off, right? You want to have freedom, you want to have sovereignty, but if you do that, you have to do it in a safe manner, and that safe manner comes with education and knowledge, for sure.
Just want to add on as well. So education is so crucial. We realized it in the last 1 month, on a heightened way. Because as a wallet, we've done a lot of campaigns, but because we're launching our token soon, so since a month ago, we've been running our own airdrop campaign. And I think this is the first time we have seen, such a high proportion of users coming from centralized exchanges, as well as Web2 coming in. And we got a barrage of questions, right? Which is as simple as why is the slippage so high, right? Why am I paying $10 or $20 for gas fees and so on? And these are still not security related, right? The worrying part is when they start asking about, hey, I received this token, all right, that's worth $1,000. I don't know the token, what should I do with it? Then you realize that there's actually a lot of these folks who are so used to a centralized exchange where it's a controlled, safe environment in a way, that they don't think about these things. Then we actually started to do education. I mean, one is articles and having customer support, but the other one is realizing that the KOLs themselves, and even the centralized exchange BDs who work with these KOLs, they need to be educated as well, because they are kind of the first person that a lot of these users are interfacing with.
I completely agree. And I feel like, as it is, as you saw, I think 50% of the audience owns a hard wallet. What's scary about that, though, is that I know a lot of the reasons is that you don't want to lose your keys. To be honest, that was my initial roadblock. It was, I don't want to lose my crypto. What happens if I lose my seed phrase? The other day, my dogs chewed up my seed phrase. I mean, what do you even do with that? So what advice would you give users? What advice would you give users that are actually scared? Where do you store your seed phrase?
crypto steel is a good product because then your dog can definitely not chew through that, or else he would break all his teeth and still would not be able to like chew through it. We actually, we think about that a lot. Obviously, everyone has their own way of doing it, but definitely there's a lot of products out there that allow you to do that. We launched a new product which made a lot of waves last year because it was a misunderstanding of what it was doing, but which is called Recover, which basically allows you to shard the 24 words into 3. One would be kept by Ledger and 2 by your other partners, and you are the only one who can like bring it back together, right? And what's interesting is that in this new wave, if you will, that we've seen in the past few months, the attach rate, meaning the number of people that will buy the product when they're buying a new crypto wallet, has gone way up. So, I think that the crypto OGs, the ones that have been around in the space for a very long time, they found their way, probably to say, most of them anyway, to save their 24 words. But the new entrants are like, hey, this sounds good. I want to have another safe way to. So that's one of the ways to do it. But I think it's very personal for sure.
I'll add something a little bit more is when we talk about the users, how do we give all these advice to the users? In our heads, we are picture different people. Users who don't even know what is gas fee, that's user. And users who have a challenge of getting run a campaign on Bitget, that's also users. Users who run their own script and farming around the world of Web3, that's also users. So these different users, when they protect their seed phrase or protect their assets, they tend to use different method. So for the normies we talk about, maybe the best way is just storing their iCloud. That could be a way. For all these,
Sebastian is not a
I
great.
don't know, when you look at what happens in iOS, I mean, iCloud doesn't sound like super safe to me, but yes.
No, by the end of the day, it's the balance between convenience, how to use, and how secure it is, right? So, yes, for sure, the most secure way, maybe just remember my 12 or 24 seed phrase. And I don't write it anywhere, I don't give it to anyone, I don't hide it under the bed so it won't get on fire one day. That's the most secure way. But how many people in this world can do that, right? By the end of the day, we're talking about adoption to Web2 users, bring the next billion on chain. So when we talk about giving advice, building solutions for people, we're talking about different sections of people. Like by the end of the day, what we want is a taxi driver in Brazil or a chef in Turkey. They can all use wallet, but when they use it, they may use it in a totally different way than the on-chain expert. That's the solution that each product will offer to different user sectors.
While I do agree that it's up to you how you want to store your seed phrase, I personally would not recommend putting it on iCloud just for the newbies, just because I know 2 people that have got hacked, so don't do it.
And the reality is that this is what's happening today, but this level of sophistication that's going to happen on hacks in the next years, and I don't know how many of you have read This Is Tell Me How the World Ends, but when you read that book, and that book was pre-AI revolution, you worry and you realize that you need to find very secure ways. To me, it's more, I understand your point, it's right, on onboarding the next 100 million or billion people, but I really believe that there's a way to still have the security and the ease of use, and I think that that's what we have to go towards. Not saying, well, let's make it easy, and then because if you make it easy, then people get hacked. That actually sets you back more than if you made it a little bit harder, but they don't get hacked.
Bad news spreads better than good news, and that's the reality of it. So outside of that, outside of the security aspect, what other challenges do you feel are setting us back as a community, and what can we do as innovators to really get ahead of the game?
I think even though that we have a lot of onboarding and education and key opinion leaders who are actually explaining for new users how to get started. I still think there is a long way to go, because as we can see today, maybe there are 300, 400 million crypto users, and that's it. So that does mean that there is somewhere in this chain where we're not actually properly fulfilling the mission of crypto to actually decentralize finance and get crypto in everyone's pocket. So I think what's going to happen, and it's going to be key for all of us here, is actually making sure that even maybe our grandmothers, our grandfathers, and people that are older than the age of 50, 60 can still use and are able to get onboarded to Ledger or Trust Wallet and start using the wallets without having to ask their children or have to go on YouTube and figure out how to actually use these wallets correctly and figure out what gas fee is. I think that's going to be really important. We're going to do our role in terms of getting 900 million users from Telegram over to the wallet, but there's still going to be a lot from other players that's required.
Interesting. So I did want to ask something to you, Nate. Being in the industry for a really long time, I feel like I've seen it all at this point. I have seen a couple people talk about using their Trust wallet as a warm wallet. So it's not a cold wallet and it's not a hot wallet, so they leave it disconnected to any sites and they start putting their crypto in there. What's your take on that? I mean, I know that obviously was not why you guys created Trust Wallet, but do you feel like you'll come out with a hard wallet solution based on, I guess, user feedback?
You can build
We
with us.
can partner. We can do a partnership.
Partnership.
There you go.
We didn't expect user to do that. As I know, that user install a wallet, for example, an iPhone, and take it offline, right, off the grid, and call it a warm wallet. And to be honest, when we see the user's behavior, we see lots of users have this kind of behavior that the fund they put within Trust Wallet managed address had to move for quite a long time. I think before we want to build our own hardware wallet, I think the first step is always to work with our partners to support the existing infrastructure. So instead of offering too many options to the user, they will get lost, right? So, okay, what is that, right? So instead, like, we have so much. I think that's one of the challenge we're facing today is we are building so much options for the user, chains after chains, like how many chains we have today, right? So, and how many hardware wallets do we want, right? But in the day, again, for users, sometimes they just need one option. This is it, and this is good, right? And it would easy to use, take on, and cruise on. So I think that's our take. Instead of reinventing the wheels, we'll work with our excellent partners to help to take on more users.
Actually, I think 3 years from now, our conversation all about private key management could be outdated because now that people are talking about how to eliminate the existence of private key after all, like account abstraction is a good example about that. I think it's just a matter of time when we totally remove the existence of private key from the user journey and user can just enjoy using an application, like a normal application. They don't need to understand the complicated blockchain technology behind the scenes. There will be social recoveries. So in the older days, for example, if I'm like 80 years old, I have some small pocket, my Bitcoin want to hand over to my granddaughter or something like that. I don't need to, they can simply go for social recovery instead of me trying to dig in out of my mattress, where's my set of private keys. So we are seeing this as kind of interesting trend and definitely gonna come true in the near future. It's just a matter of time, especially seeing the amount of developers building on top of that. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. So I don't think this is gonna be an issue in the near term or future. Yeah.
I was going to agree. I think it's definitely account extraction is definitely the way the future. We're working on a lot of different things and partners around that because we definitely see a lot of innovation in the space and to your point, like something that will make it simpler down the line, so for sure.
Do you feel like ZKs are going to play a role as well? In what way? Or can you not say?
No. I mean, I think they're very linked. I think no. I can. I mean, I think they're very linked. And the thing is that again, like in terms of innovation and what we're seeing, you know, so our vision is always like as a platform more than, you know, as we don't really have to pick, right? Like we always look to say that everyone's invited to the Ledger party, right? Like so on Ledger Live, for example, we integrate as many chains, as many partners as possible. And so we have discussions with, you know, all the chains, all the different people building on top of these different protocols. And for sure, you know, in the past, I would say like year, be it on the ZK side, on the account extraction side, that's where we're seeing, you know, like the most activity. So if this is where developers are going, we want to be able to support developers and allow them to like build it on top of, you know, our technology. So for sure, there's a lot happening there. I can't pinpoint something very specific, but definitely if I look at, you know, the level of discussions that we're having, or the, you know, this is definitely where things have happened in the past 12 months, let's say.
Just want to add on to what Veronica said about you know, smart contract integration and account abstraction. The way how Web3 wallets are designed today is still pretty inflexible in a way, right? I think social recovery is one great use case, right? The ability to set like, you know, thresholds on when you need approvals, the ability to set like multi-signature kind of mechanisms. There's so much that you can kind of customize, right? Once like account abstraction or smart contract integration jumps in. So, like you said, I think 3-4 years down the road, we could be looking at very different kind of mechanisms there.
I think for us, we've kind of, we're at a good balance now between users' safety and easiness of use, with the 2 points of failure with Telegram plus email. I think the next step for us over the next couple of years is actually going to be further expanding the Ton ecosystem on Telegram. So currently we had a very viral game called Notcoin, which had 35 million users. We're coming up with new games and new ways to onboard people all the time. But the main thing with the Ton space is you can connect it to any other application, any other Ton application on Telegram through Ton Connect, which works as the same way as Wallet Connect would on Ethereum. And that's going to be the next step for us, trying to get as many apps built to create a nice Ton ecosystem.
Really cool. I think we are running low on time, so I do want to close off this panel by saying, what advice would you give to the audience for this next upcoming bull run? Veronica?
So many too. Too many. Really depends on what you're asking for, right? I'll say. No, too difficult. Too many things running on my mind. Too many things running on my mind. Yeah. Maybe come back later.
So, I mean, my main thing, I guess I'm definitely the oldest person on this panel. So as the oldest person, I think experience is really important. Not my experience, our collective experience. And learning from your experience and from your mistakes is really, really important. It's, you know, what makes you strong going down the line. So what I really hope, and which I kind of see, you know, we just had Paris Blockchain Week. It's interesting to see how the mood has shifted in these conferences, and I wouldn't want it to become what it may have been 2 years ago, where things were, you know, and if I go back to institutional investors coming into the space and trying to be a lot more careful about the way that they do things, I'm all for, we should push for innovation, we should push for, you know, building something really amazing that we can do, and I believe in that so much, but let's do it in a very careful way, and in a way that, you know, really makes sense, and then learn from the past experience. That's my main thing.
I'll go next. Most stories I've heard about, you know, people getting hacked in some ways is when they FOMO, or when they jump into, you know, when they hear something and I'm like, you know, I gotta buy the coin now, right? And then they start making mistakes. And, you know, my advice is never put yourself in that kind of situation. Always check and then double check and then triple check, right? You think you got the link from the official Discord, but the Discord could be hacked, right? So you always gotta check and double check there.
Do you want to go back to Veronica and Nate? Or, okay. I would say it's very important to try new things. Once the bull market starts, people's activity goes through the roof. new things come out all the time, new products, there's new teams doing different developments. I would say, who has Telegram in this room? Who has a Telegram account? Okay, so everyone. So search for Wallet inside of Telegram, get onboarded and try this new ecosystem in Tom, because this is a very, very new development for us. I think we've only really ramped up in the past 2 years as Tom, and I really encourage all of you to try it.
I'll have two advice. One for the every users, you and me, everyone, is security is the key. As always, don't get panicked. Don't feel you want to get on something right now today. Just always check. The fun fact is, in the past year, we've helped to stop $500 million of funds sent to fishy address to protect our users, and there's still a large number being sent to this fishy address. Although we warn the user, they still try to do so. So stay secure as much as possible. Be careful. And for the developers and the builders within this room, I would say there's still lots of frictions within this industry compared to last bull market. I will say it's even more because we have more chains, we have more ecosystems, we have more things to do on chain. So I think it will be grateful to have everyone to help to bridge all these frictions for our users, so they can enjoy this world.
Yeah. So I've been giving advice like this on Twitter actually. So I would recommend, if you're actually holding crypto, better to separate them into different accounts for different purposes. Some of them for long-term holding, for example, just leave it there. And the other one, engage with smart contracts and all those, so that whenever if any of the wallet accounts get exploited, then you have the other funds as you save. So this is a very practical manner. And also, I'm seeing a lot of the people down at the stage are actually builders. So if you're ever interested in introducing your product to a massive and very active community, please talk to us. Because we feel that it's not really just important for us or every wallet here to build. It's also quite important to join hands with other partners in the ecosystem to bridge and also to complete the user journey for them, no matter what kind of applications they're using. So we feel that a partnership is also quite important. Building together means more than just one single person fighting alone. So if you are ever interested, you have a working product, you have a consumer-facing product, you want to introduce to a large and active community, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter and Telegram. We're quite active there. So partnership is also actually quite an important sector in our building process. So looking forward. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you guys. I will say one last thing to, I guess, investors here. Do your research. That's my only advice. Is just look into everything that you're putting your money in. So can we please have a round of applause for our awesome guys. Thank you.